There we go. All right. So in this presentation, I'm going to share with you how you can leverage online marketing strategies to position your business as the trusted authority in your market that dominates web traffic and floods your business with new customers. That's the goal, that everybody has, and it's there's a strategy behind it, and there's a core of knowledge that you need to know to actually begin doing that. The three things we're going to cover are search, social signals, and mobile. And obviously with search, how are people using the internet? There's some really surprising statistics that I'm going to share with you. We'll get into social signals and how important those are. And social signals basically mean when you do a search, like over here, this is like a restaurant search in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. You see these scores, Zagat, 24 out of 30. Those are social signals. And we're going to talk about, how those get on there and how you can actually manage those and get on page one of Google. And then we're going to get into mobile and how important mobile is, and it's taken over search. Right now it's about a 60%, 40% split with people on the internet, and in just a couple of years there will be more people that use their cell phones 100% to search the internet than they do on the desktop. So that's a trend that you need to be aware of to get out in front of and take advantage of that trend and position yourself for it. So this presentation, it's for businesses that are serious about using online marketing strategies to get more customers. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. There's so many studies and statistics and reviews that have been done that just show that traditional forms of advertising, whether it be advertising on the radio and newspaper and print and magazines, those forms of advertising on television, they don't give nearly the statistics, the tracking ability that online marketing does, where you can really zero in and see what the effectiveness is to really determine what your return on investment is. The other forms of media are very fuzzy, and online marketing by all major businesses has grown dramatically and are now the primary focus of most of major companies in their marketing strategies. It's much, much, much cheaper than all traditional forms of advertising, and it's much more focused and much higher return on investment. So to learn online marketing is going to be a key for what you can put in your arsenal to help you with your business.
Right. And online marketing, I mean, it's much more trackable, isn't it, than, like a local newspaper or,
Exactly. Like, everything that you do online, I mean, everything can be tracked. Every single click can be tracked. Every advertisement you put out there, one of the key things to do is to have call tracking also integrated so that you have a special phone number set up, and it's dirt cheap to do this, but you have a special phone number associated with the ad so that when that advertisement is called, if that's the call to action, call this number, it'll go ahead and forward to your real business number, your whatever that is, your cell phone, whatever it is. But then on the back end, all those calls can be monitored, in terms of how many calls did you get from that ad, how effective was it, what was your conversion, in terms of the number of people that clicked on it versus the number of people that called. And then for the people that did call, let's say that you own, I don't know, a hairstylist salon, and people are calling in, to your, they're responding to the ad, they're calling, but the person that's answering the phone is being rude and obnoxious and not helpful. You can actually listen in on those phone conversations, and as a business owner, you know exactly what's going on. And so let's say that you're getting, a good conversion from the ad, say 10%, which is excellent, actually 5% is excellent. So 5% of the people are clicking on the ad, they're actually calling you. But out of those 5%, nobody's coming. You're not getting any conversions. You're not getting any new business. So that's where you want to be able to, listen to the calls and see what's going on. So,
Right.
yeah. So online marketing is usually effective. Some key statistics here. Percent of consumers who use the internet to search for local businesses, 97%.
Wow.
It's just, it's astounding.
Yeah, that is.
Another stat is percent of households. I mean, this is all households that use the internet as their go-to resource when they're purchasing local products and services. This is the #1 source they go to. 70% of all households use the internet.
Wow.
Percent of local searches that result in an in-store visit, phone call, or purchase, 90%.
Wow.
That means people, they're using the internet, they're using it locally to find things, and they're taking action on it. It's not just something that's there say ho hum, that was interesting. Then they go about and drive around and try to find something. No, they make their plan. Either they are driving around, they're in their vehicles, they're walking around, they're at home getting ready to go do something. They do the research and they act on it.
Well, it's funny. What I did prior to this was I was an activities director for a senior community. And one of the reasons why I thought I needed to get into computer training was because I was doing computer training for the seniors. It's 160 apartments at this community. And believe it or not, if they weren't savvy, if they weren't already somewhat savvy on what a mouse is, how to get to where they need to go, they wanted to know. I mean, computer training was probably the most popular event that I did, the activity that I did at this senior facility because, some of these people were 80, 85, 90 years old, and they wanted to know how to navigate the internet.
Might be
because if you think about it, they're not very mobile.
No.
These people, I mean, a lot of them weren't at all. Didn't have a car, couldn't drive, physically couldn't drive for whatever reason. They couldn't get to where they needed to go, and what an easier way to shop, to order things would be to just sit in your own computer. And I'll tell you, the senior community is probably, to me, you wouldn't think so, but they're not using newspapers anymore. They're getting online, some of them. And then as far as looking for places to live, when we were trying to do some research on where we should be marketing, everybody said, no, don't go online, don't do it online because they're seniors. They don't use the computer anyway. Well, what about their children who are looking for a nice place for their parents to live? Or, you know what I mean? They didn't think of that. So, yeah, I believe those statistics, even with the senior community.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure, with your experience in that, that might be something that you could probably, get into relatively easily, already having the experience, just contacting some of your, local areas that have programs for seniors and just offer your classes, at an introductory price and, see if they're, willing to add that as a benefit. But
right.
How tight they are. I don't know if they'd be able to pay you any money for it.
Exactly. They're all on Social Security and everything now. So,
yeah, plus those nursing homes, I mean, they don't make any money. My wife, her and I are both in healthcare, and I've been on primarily the hospital side, but she's actually had experience with those nursing homes, and my gosh, they're all so tight with money. I mean, they don't spend a penny extra on anything they don't have to.
No, they don't. But I will tell you, getting into the Skype and emailing and stuff like that, a lot of them, have grandkids from far away, and, what a great way to see their grandkids on a daily basis. How much would you pay to know how to navigate Skype to see your grandkids and visit with them on a daily basis? You know what I mean?
No,
so,
yeah.
It's all in the presentation. It's all in the pitch. Would you pay, $5 for an hour class to learn how to get on the internet and learn how to Skype your grandkids?
Heck yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they're up in, Chicago and you're down in Florida and you don't see them but once every other year, it's, So yeah, it's all in the sales. But I totally have thought about the whole senior community and being tight with the money, and yeah, we're going to be working with the different various government agencies too, so it'll offset some of that, you know.
Yeah, in
Expense.
fact, that could just be just one, small service that you guys, offer, and
Right.
put that on your website, and then do what I did, just post a bunch of Craigslist ads, and get people that are looking, to benefit from that, and do some classes.
Right.
Like what I'm using right now, this is called GoToWebinar, and they give you a free 30-day trial, so you could just do it all online and be interactive, or just do a presentation. Or another thing you could do is record your own presentations using software that captures your screen. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Camtasia or some of the other software products out there, but there's software products that you record your screen, and then you could actually just create a membership area once again, and boom, run the Craigslist ads. People sign up for $5, drip feed them whatever classes you got. That way you only have to record the presentation one time, and they get access to it, and then you go on to the next thing and just keep building.
Yeah, that because I'm watching this Go webinar thing, and I've used this before. I worked for Hilton Hotels prior to this job, in a lot of our trainings and stuff, because we all worked from home. So a lot of our trainings would be these webinars, and to me, it's one of the things that my friend up in New Hampshire really wants to get into, and I said you really should. I mean, this is an income where you don't have to be present.
Yeah.
Where she's retiring, I'm like, you can make a residual income forever if you did this, if you invested in doing something like this. So you said Camtasia?
Yeah, Camtasia. Just do a Google search on Camtasia, and that's a very good tool to use. It just record. That's the best one because there's no time limit on it, so you could have like an hour-long presentation. I think it costs like I want to say I paid $350 for it a while back, probably about 6 months ago, and but that's the top of the line. That's made by TechSmith, and they also have other free tools that you can use, but they limit the amount of screen recording you could do to like 5 minutes. But just record, do a Google search and look at your options. And
what are the keywords I'm putting in? Online presentation or something like that?
Just screen recording software.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep, sure thing. So who dominates the search market? I'm sure you already know this. Google is king.
Oh, yeah.
This is why Google is so important. This is search engine market share as of last month, August, and 85% of those people that are online doing searches use Google. On the mobile side, this is the mobile side, 93% use Google.
Wow.
And when you're searching, I'm sure this is no surprising statistic either, that 95% of all people, they don't go past page 1. If it's not on page 1, they do another search if it's not on page 1.
Right.
So page 1 is where you want to be for, whatever it is that you want to be found for, that's where you want to be. So the search takeaways, just about everybody uses the internet to search for local businesses, and they also make their final local purchasing decisions based on what they're doing, and they're using Google to do it, and they're not going past page 1.
Wow.
So that's where you want to be. There's a couple of ways to get on page 1 on Google. We're going to go over, take a look at that in a minute, but paid listings, I'm sure you've seen the paid listings on Google. On the desktop, they call it AdWords. On the mobile sites, they call it AdMob, which is AdWords Mobile, and that's the abbreviation they use is AdMob for it.
Hmm. Okay.
And the other way to get on page one is organically. And I'm sure you've heard of search engine optimization and,
Yep.
and that term before, but that just basically means that Google trusts your website, and they consider that for those keywords that the person typed in, that you deserve to be at the top of the search results. And then the other thing they do is they combine what's called Google plus local. Have you heard of Google plus local or Google Places before?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into that, but that's the other way. So let's just take a look at that. So this is a traditional, what Google looks like. This is a search for a dentist in Charlotte that I did recently.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And up, here on the upper left and over on the right, those are, your Google AdWords. And those are, what people are paying per click. So like for a dentist in Charlotte, I want to say that's like $10 per click. So if you're going to have an ad, you better have your website configured to take advantage of those clicks, because it's costing you like $10 a pop.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, if they have a good website and they click through and they actually, take action, they call and decide, well, I'm going to make an appointment. Well, you know what that's worth to a dentist? That's like every appointment's worth like $250. So all they need is like 1 out of 25 people to take action and actually make an appointment, and they'll make their money back.
Interesting.
So that's why it makes sense. And the Google AdWords are all priced according to the to the industry. It's all based on supply and demand, what people are willing to pay per click to be on page one of Google. So that's what the AdWords are all about. Then there's Google Maps, and I'm sure you've seen the Google Map. Everybody sees that. It's in every search. And Google Maps, we'll get into a little background on that here in a minute, but that's also tied into what's called Google Plus Local 7-Pack. So you see these balloons on the left-hand side. They correspond with the balloons up on the upper right-hand corner. So this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that's called the Google Plus Local 7-Pack, and that comes from Google Places, which is on Google Maps, and they're tied together. And Google's evolved that way since 2004. But really, that's where you want to be. That's the target, because if you can get your business organically ranking in the local 7-pack, then you've got it made, because you're up there and it's not costing you a penny. Once you get ranking there, well, it will cost you to stay in there. I mean, you have to do things every month. And to continuously build the trust and authority to be in there, and that's done in a number of different ways. But definitely doesn't cost you $10 per click. I think it costs the average. They did a study on this, and the average is like 17 cents per click just to stay there. Once you get there, to stay there is just dirt cheap. So,
wow.
So that's the ultimate goal, is to get a website. Get your site organically listing in Google's 7-pack so that you're being shown there. Let's take a look at another search here. This is restaurants in San Francisco, and just a little bit different of a result. Every single time you do a Google search, it's going to show you a little bit different display on exactly what it is that you're doing. So you're always going to have the Google AdWords up there, but you see up there, there's only one AdWord up there. And then, of course, you got the maps, on the right-hand side. And then you've got, again, organic listings, including Google Plus Local 7-Pack. But this time, you see that the Google Local 7-Pack's not at the very top. There's some other things that are up here. You've got the top 100 restaurants in San Francisco, which is like a directory. You got Yelp. Yelp's another directory. And then another directory, San Francisco Restaurants and Dining. So, these are all directories that Google put above their 7-pack listings, which is their Google Places, which correlate to the Google Maps. So, it really, the bottom line is, you're still, no matter what, this Google Local 7-pack listing is always going to be on page 1, close to the top. It's going to be right up there.
So the Google AdWords ad does that mean that restaurant paid more to have that be at the top of the list on the front page of the Google search?
Yep, this is it depends on how long their campaign lasts. They might be here for a week, they might be here for a month, but they're paying. I think a restaurant pays right around $4 or $5 a click. So for every person that clicks on this, and that's where you really got to be good with tracking, and like we talked about earlier, everything is completely tracked, so that you know exactly what your conversion, what your return on investment is. And what you do is you optimize that. So if it's making you money, you want to keep running that,
right?
And keep running that. And at some point, and if you're really good, at optimizing those campaigns, then and you've got a return on investment, then that's something that if you can't get your site ranking down here, or some people, even when they have their ranking in the Google Local 7-pack, they still want an ad up there, because there's just more opportunities to click on their place. So, it really depends on how aggressive and what kind of a return on investment people are getting. But if it's returning money, I mean, would you pay $1 to make $5? Of course you would.
Of course.
Yeah. So, if you've got a well-optimized Google AdWords campaign running, heck yeah. If it's making you money, keep doing it.
So does Google send like a daily, weekly, monthly report to that restaurant, basically saying this is how many clicks you got? And
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, you have a dashboard to go in there and take a look to see. You get all those stats. But to be honest with you, unless you're a professional and you're dealing with that on a daily basis, your average person that tries to do that themselves, they lose their butt. There's just so much information to process. There's so many different things to consider. How's your ad worded? How's your website performing? How's your website set up? So that when somebody does click through to your website, is it actually converting? And most people that throw up an ad, they realize right away, oh, wait a minute, I'm just paid, $500 last month, and I got, 1,000 people that clicked on my ad. However, my website, is not converting, or I don't have anything on my website, that, has a solid call to action, a coupon, or, so it's a combination of the ad plus where do they go when they click on the ad, and it better be, something that drives them to take action. And then if they are taking action, then are your processes set up internally at your place of business, to appropriately field those phone calls or whatever it is that they're doing. If they're filling something out, what's your follow-up processes? I'm sure you've seen, a lot of times you click on a website and they'll want to capture your name and email address. Well, on the back end, you've got systems, that should be, sending out correspondence, to those people to go ahead and earn their trust, so that they do want to take action and do business with you in the future, if not right away. So you've got to have like what's called an autoresponder set up if it's email. If it's phone calls, you got to make sure that your staff are trained, and you've got a script that they can follow, and then you've got to be able to monitor those phone calls so that where things are not, where you've got opportunities to optimize it further. So, AdWords are great, but you've got to definitely be prepared, and then you've got to be, prepared, number one, how to write the ad, how to manage it, the campaign. You've got to be very familiar with Google, and all the nuances and idiosyncrasies of running an AdWords campaign, and to make sure that you're, targeting it correctly for the right keywords, and so that you've got the right demographic, tweaked out, and you're getting the right demographic, and then after that, then it's all follow-up on the website, and then what happens is, after they hit your website.
And I'm assuming this is where you would come in with with what you do, basically on a consulting basis.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you could help the business owner from start to finish with every aspect of, search engine optimization.
Absolutely. That's exactly correct. And it takes quite a bit of resources to do that, and a lot of people with a lot of areas of expertise. And that's where what I've been fortunate with is to partner with those expert resources to go ahead and do that. And so there's no way I could learn all the different things in online marketing myself. I'd be doing nothing but learning and have no time to do anything else. And you can't be an expert in every one of those things. So what you do is you get teams of experts that are good in Google AdWords, that are good in conversion, writing ad copy, people that are excellent with website development and making sure, that you've got systems set up on the back end so that you're collecting leads, setting up the tracking systems, for phone calls. All those things require expertise. It's not something that, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself. And then you get into it and you're like, wow, I didn't realize how much was involved with this. And I bet, it's kind of like going, would you want to pull your own teeth or go to the dentist? I'd rather go to the dentist.
Exactly. Let the professionals handle it, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
But Google, takeaways real quick from all the search, they're the 800-pound gorilla, want to be on page one. And we're going to get into looking at that Google Plus Local, which is formerly called Google Places, and it's and also getting that set up and getting it optimized. There's a lot that goes into that, but that's the way to get on page one is either ads, Google AdWords, websites like you saw those local search directories, or being in that Google Plus Local 7-pack. And this is what a Google Plus Local listing looks like. If you see on the upper top it says Google Plus, and over here it says Local. When you do a search and you get those
scorings.
You get that 7-pack that comes up, and you click on ratings and reviews. This is where it takes you. It takes you to, and it's kind of like a Facebook page. It's got an area for posts where you can put a bunch of posts just like Facebook, an about section, photos, videos, and that's how the Google Plus Local page listing, business listing looks. So what's it really worth to be on page one? That's where people really need to analyze. What are the keywords? What are keywords? What's your business all about? And when somebody goes in and types in a search, how is it that you want to be found? And then if you are being found, first of all, for those keywords, you need to know how many people are looking for those keywords. Let's say you had an off-the-wall keyword nobody's searching for. Well, guess what? Who cares, if you come up number one, for that keyword. If it's something obscure and nobody's searching for it anyways, it doesn't matter. So you need to make sure that you're targeting keywords that actually have some sort of volume. And then you need to determine as a business owner, okay, what's the lifetime value of my customer worth? And those are the things that people need to take into consideration. So looking at it in terms of keywords, what are people going to what do you expect people to type in that search box and find you with? So with your business, it would probably be Microsoft Word training. Or if there's a certain demographic that you're targeting. You're working with some state businesses, so maybe it's Microsoft Microsoft training for job skill training, or you tell me what kinds of things would people be looking for to find you?
Well, probably employment, career skills, office skills, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. I mean, you could do all the different applications in there as keywords. You could do computer, you could do training, you could do, I mean,
Perfect.
basic computer skills. I mean, there's quite a few, but
Perfect. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a little trick here right now.
okay.
That you're thinking that. So basically, like I live here in the Southern Pines area. I'm close to Fayetteville, so I start typing in dog training. Right. I didn't
Yeah.
even. All I did was type in DOG space TR, and it's already thinking ahead. It's saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, how about dog training? Have you seen this before?"
I have. Yeah.
Yep. So this gives you all kinds of ideas on this is called Google autocomplete, and so they're trying to autocomplete. You know, somebody trying to finish a word or sentence for you, but that is very key to kind of take advantage of it and saying, oh, okay, so it's suggesting these things, these keywords are being suggested by Google. That's actually what it's doing. So then what you want to do, and here's just another example. Like I typed in Boston and started typing in accountant, and it started, pulling up these other things. So, it's obviously, the keywords, you want to take a look and see what Google's suggesting. But then what you want to do is go to their free Google keyword tool. Are you familiar with that one at all?
I'm not.
Do a Google search on that. In fact, I've in this presentation, you're going to get a copy of it. But everything that you see highlighted in blue that's underlined with a link to it, you'll be able
Yeah.
to click on that, and it'll take you right to it. So you'll get a copy of this presentation as a thank you from me that
Okay.
you can refer back to, and all these highlighted links will take you to it. But here's an example of Boston Accountant in this keyword tool, and it's showing that now the way it works is you got global, and I said the font's kind of small, so if you can see that, it says global, that's worldwide, and then it says local, which is the United States. And so
Okay.
it's saying, and there's different kinds, it'll show you a broad match, an exact match, and a phrase match, and it gives you, what those terms mean. But basically, there's in the United States, Boston Accountant is what's called a phrase match, and or I'm sorry, that's a broad match. And what broad match means is that somewhere in that string, in that search box, they're typing in both words, Boston and accountant, in combination with other words or alone. But on a monthly basis, there's like 3,000 people that type in the word Boston and accountant, either alone or together with other words in the search box. So if you can come up on page 1 of Google, you've got 2,900 people per month that you can be in front of if you're on page 1. That's a lot of
Wow.
business. That's a lot of business.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Here's another example. I live near Charlotte, so I was, Charlotte Hair Salon, and I think the last time I went to a barber, I think was when I was 12 years old. I'm 46 now, and I haven't used anything but a hair salon for my hair since I was about, I don't know, probably, about 14, 15 years old. And guys just don't use barbershops, and they use, they'll type in hair salon if they're looking for something. So anyways, I was looking at hair salons. I was like, wow, this is a ton of searches. If you look at this, if you see in the brackets, this is what's called exact match search, and that's what I narrowed it down to. So I told Google I used an exact match, and I said, so just, based on my keyword, Charlotte Hair Salon, exact match, and then they give me the suggestions, and they say, well, people are also typing in hair salons in Charlotte. Got 880 people per month typing in that keyword. So basically what you do with your keywords, use that Google keyword tool. It gives you these results to tell you okay, for these keywords, this is how many searches are being made per month. And then what you do is you add up all these keywords and say, okay, well, if I can get on page 1 for these keywords, that is how many people I'll be in front of on a monthly basis. So
Right.
that's how you use that keyword tool.
But that's how you would use your keyword search. You would put, I mean, you would optimize by putting, you know, hair salons in Charlotte and when you do go to put your keywords in.
Exactly. That's
how you, where it says 880, that's how you would word it. Instead of just putting Charlotte Hair Salon, you would actually put hair salons in Charlotte as like a phrase.
Exactly. Okay. Like, you know, Sally, my wife's name is Sally, so we could say like Sally's Beauty Shop is the best choice for hair salons in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that way you've got hair salons in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, that's going to be on your website. So so if you make that your tagline, then you're positioning yourself, you know, in front of 880 searches for those words. And then maybe you would have an article or also maybe just on your homepage saying Sally's hair salon has been voted one of the top hair salons for Charlotte, North Carolina for the past 5 years by such and such. You know, however you want to word that, but you just work in these keywords, and that's what's called search engine optimization. And that is how, and then Google sees those words on your website, and they say, oh, okay, well, and then Google goes through a whole series of algorithms. You remember you were talking about, you know, those elderly folks using the internet? Mm-hmm. Like Google looks at websites, they say, okay, my grandma is to go to Sally's hair salon and pull up that site. Is it going to provide any real value? I mean, what's on that website? So they got algorithms to really look at your website, and if they determine that, hey, this has got a lot of good information on here, and it's you know, something that provides value to the end user, they're going to rank your website higher than a website that might just be one page, like you know, just a simple website saying, you know, Sally's hair salon, you know, located at blah blah blah, you know, here's our phone number, you know, and you know, here's our address. You know, so if you got interactive things on your site, it's got maybe some things that would benefit your customers, like how to do a perm, you know, or, you know, different things related to products, or, you know, how-to things, you know, if it just had, if you had a blog set up, and you're out there blogging and putting on new content, that's how Google looks at these websites. They say, okay, this is something that's providing value. We're going to rank it high. So that's where you get into that search engine optimization.
Right.
So looking at, you know, okay, I've got, let's stick with that haircut example. Here I am, I'm looking for a hair salon, and you know, average amount per sale is $15. You know, I got to go in there once a month to get a haircut, and you know, typically, you know, people don't move more often than, you know, are typically in a spot for 5 years at a crack before they wind up relocating and moving. And I don't know what the stats are, but I just kind of use that as an average, saying, okay, you know, when I go someplace, you know, a haircut's a personal thing. I find a good place to get a haircut, guess what? I'm going to stick with them. You know,
yep, you're going to stay with it. Yep.
As long as I live there, I'm going to go there. And even, you know, in my, you know, just sidebar, you know, with all the travel that I've done in my career as a consultant, I'd wait till I came home to get my haircut, because so many times I get my haircut on the road and get a crappy haircut, and then I'm stuck with it for a month. Until it goes out. So I learned my lesson the hard way, but that's typically something personal that, you know, like a doctor or a dentist, you find somebody you like, you stay with them. So right. Let's say, you know, let me just take a look. So that's the average, is about $15 just for a haircut. That's the average, not counting a tip. 12 times a year. And then, so the gross sales per year, just for me as a customer to Sally's hair salon, be $180. You know, that's the revenue that they're going to be generating from me as a customer. Okay, so now let's just take a look at the number of years I'm a customer, 5 years. Well, over the 5 years, that's $900. So now my lifetime value as a customer, you know, can you see that pretty easy there?
Yep.
Okay, so the lifetime value is $900, and let's just say that I refer a couple of people a year, to the hair salon because it just comes up in conversation. Hey Dan, I'm new to the area, thinking about getting a haircut. Oh, you got to go by Sally's Beauty Salon. She's awesome, and she does a great job. And so, anyways, and so let's just say that twice a year I have a conversation with somebody, and let's just say that it's out of those two people, that just one of them becomes a customer. Okay, so we're looking over the course of 5 years. That's 10 people. That well, guess what? By me just doing that simple little thing, now I'm referring, over the course of 5 years, 5 people that are also becoming lifetime customers of Sally's Beauty Salon. And so now Dan, I have generated not just my $900 over the course of 5 years worth of revenue, but $5,400 because I'm referring other people, because other people are becoming customers as a result of me just saying, hey, you got, I love the way your hair looks, Dan. Who does your hair? Or, I'm new to the area. Where do you recommend? Whatever, however it happens. Or, there's some sort of customer referral program at Sally's Beauty Salon. They say if you refer us a customer, we'll take $5 off your next haircut or give you a haircut for free after you refer 5 customers. You see all the different programs people have out there. Why do you think they're doing it? Because that lifetime value of a customer is huge.
Yep.
So let's just say we tweak with, we do a small increase. So let's just say that the dollar amount is increased by 50%, and because let's just say that my hairstylist now, she's telling me about a new product. Maybe I've got really dry hair, and it's just driving me crazy, or my hair's thinning out. I need something to help. Maybe I need some scalp cleansing, whatever. But she recommends a product to me, and I like it. So now, I go in there and I get my product there every time I get a haircut. And so now I'm spending $23 a pop. And let's just say that they've got a new customer referral program. And instead of 2 people, I'm referring 3 people. Well, what does that do? Now, my lifetime value as a customer just went from $5,400. Now, Dan Schumann is worth $11,475 as a lifetime customer to Sally's Beauty Salon, just by a couple of tweaks what they did on the back end, because they started recommending some products. They took an interest in my hair, and my well-being, and recommended some things that are good for me. And they also came out with a new customer referral program where they're going to give me a discount or give me a free haircut after some of your referrals. So do you see the power behind that?
Wow, yeah.
So basically, to get back to Google on page 1 and what's it worth, well, you got to calculate the potential traffic from all those keywords. We use the keyword research tool. We looked at all the traffic, and then it comes down converting those traffic to customers, determining what the average conversion rate is. So basically what that means is, out of each click that you get to your website, how many people are actually taking action on the call to action that you have, whether it be call, fill out a form, whatever it might be. So then you take that traffic, you times that by the conversion rate, and then you times that by the customer value, and it gets kind of interesting here. So, we take a hair salon and, say, okay, we want to convert these traffic customers. We want to determine the average conversion rate. Well, the average conversion rate is about 2%. So we're looking at that $5,400 example. Without anything that the salon's doing. I am my lifetime value. Each customer's lifetime value to Sally's Beauty Salon is $5,400. So what we do is all with those keywords that were up there. In fact, we go up to here. all these, if you add all these up, it's actually about 1,600 searches per month. More than that, it's like 1,700 searches per month. So what I did was I said, okay, let's just chop that in half. Let's just say that, out of those searches, that you're going to have let's just say for whatever reason, you're only showing up half the time, or, half the people are interested in clicking on your website for whatever reason. And then you boil it down to the conversion rate. It's only 2%. Only 2% of people are taking action on that. But guess what? The lifetime, but to convert 2% of 822 visits, and then you times that by the average lifetime value of a customer, which is $5,400, that comes out to be a whopping $88,776 worth of lifetime value per month that you're getting out of being on page one in Google. And that's real money. That's how much you're adding to your business. It's obviously not $88,760 per month. You're not adding that per month to your business, but you're adding that to your business incrementally over time, based on the assumptions that we have laid out of 5 years being the life. So if you know your customer lifetime value, then you definitely know as a business owner what it's worth to be on page one. So it's very worthwhile to be on page one. So this is our hair salon, our Charlotte hair salon example again. And, but right there, right here, Virtue Salon and Spa. And just, looking at this, okay, these are the top 3 listings, out of the Google 7-pack. And you're looking, if I'm a consumer, and I'm looking at this one, I'm looking at, okay, this one here, they got 21 reviews, and they got a score of 20. That's pretty good. I'm probably going to click on that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, 27 out of 30, that's good.
And they got 21.
The Google AdWords, that's not this.
No, that's not this.
Okay.
This is just organically. I mean, if you're organically, remember I told you, if you can get your website listing organically, if you click on right here where it says Google reviews, that's going to take you to your Google Plus local page that I showed you earlier. If you click over here where it says Virtue Salon and Spa, that'll take you directly to the website.
Okay.
So, but like I told you before, to get here and stay here only costs like 17 cents per click once you get there, just to maintain that, versus an ad that costs you, several $100s, possibly thousands of dollars per month to be at the top. So, but anyways, but to be on page one, whether it's organically, like right here, or with an ad, that's huge. So I'm just going to take you through a quick history lesson here on Google and how they got to where they're at with this, with how they're displaying the results, with the organic listings, how it went from maps to places to Google Plus Local, now how they've included all the social signals. And what I mean by social signals are these Google reviews, and that's what I mean by that. So, and then now they have a kind of new product called Google Now. And Google Now is also pulling from the same Google Maps, Places, Local. And what that does is that's predicting everything that you're doing with your mobile cell phone, with your smartphone. And it will pop up cards and traffic alerts, weather alerts. Oh, don't forget to pick up the dry cleaning. Oh, if you're stopping by the flowers, they got a sale going on. You will not believe where Google is going with this, but it all comes back to you setting up that Google Plus Local listing. And if you don't have a listing, you won't show up for all these futuristic things that they're doing. And if you don't have your listing, you'll never show up on the first page of Google organically in the 7-pack listing.
Right.
The maps, they came out back in October 2004, and basically that was just kind of like a map quest. You click on it and get directions from point A to point B. That's how it originally started, and then it progressed and evolved from there. They went with Maps business listings, which were introduced in July of 2006, and that's where they aggregated the data that they had from, obviously they're the search engine. They know where, they've got all the data, so they just started plotting out all the businesses on their maps listing, and they said, hey, this is pretty cool. Why don't we include these maps listings with the organic search results? And so basically what they do, they're self-promoters, Google is, and so they took the 3 listings that they had on the maps and they put them in this local 1 box, and just like the local 7-pack that I showed you, that's how it first started out. Was that they started out with this local 1 box where they blended in their maps, their places listing, their maps listing with the organic search results. And so they then expanded that from 3 listings to 10 listings. Then they opened it up so that end users could add and update listings. So after Google pulled all everything together, then they opened it up and said, oh, okay, well, we'll let the business owners. Actually, what they did was they opened up to everybody, not just business owners, so that it was a free-for-all, and anybody could change a listing on there, and it was just a can of worms and a mess. And so that if you're a business owner and somebody else came and said, oh yeah, I know about Sally's hair salon, and they typed in whatever, and they boogered up your listing, this created just a nightmare. And so anyway, so they've changed it since then, but it was really a mess. And but then they also added the ability for people to post reviews and ratings so that they could say, oh yeah, Sally's hair salon is excellent. I give it 4 to 5 stars. And you've seen all the reviews. You've seen that.
Oh yeah.
And that's where how that all came out. And so what Google did was they opened up a local business center in June of 2009. So the business owners would have a place, within Google to go in there and get their listing cleaned up and optimized so they could claim their maps listing, they could be verified as the owner, update it, and everything else. So that's when they really started getting, it was just a free-for-all up until 2009. And, and now, and that's where they came up with the local business center to get it all organized. And also they provided a lot of valuable tools so business owners could see, oh, so now I can see what keywords people are typing in to get to my listing. So they started getting a lot of value out of there as business owners, and also gave the option for business owners to put coupons on there, to put pictures. It became kind of, just a free listing that they could do a lot with. So
see, because I made an inquiry the other day, and I got to a website, and it said, are you the owner of this website? Click here. And I was like, really? That's kind of weird.
That's how, what that will do is that'll take you into the back end of the local business center there. So if you click there, you'll wind up in the local business center, and then it'll take you through a verification. It'll have you fill out a ton of information, and then at the end it'll say, okay, now we'll go ahead and verify you. And
wow.
And then after they verify you, then they'll update the listing with all that information that you keyed in.
Now, and I didn't mean to say website, I meant to say business, but so if I had clicked on that, how would I have verified that I was in fact the owner of that business?
What they do is they send you a postcard in the mail, and then so they send you a piece of mail that gives you instructions on what to do, and typically it's a piece of mail with a phone number to call, and then you get a hold of them directly, and then they validate you over the phone, and then they will go ahead and use that information that you put online to then update it and also tie you into that listing so that you can update it whenever you want to.
Wow.
So that's how that works.
And that's all free.
That's all free. They do that for free. That's part of Google. And the weird part about it is, back in 2010, out of the 80 million businesses in the United States, only 4 million, had claimed their listing. Well, here it is 2012, 2 years later, about almost 2.5 years later, and I think that number is still below, I think it's right at 17 million, and it's now like 90 or 100 million businesses, but it's still very few. I mean, percentage-wise, it's like less than 30% of business owners have claimed their listing. And so they're just missing a huge opportunity, because if they claim their listing and optimize their listing, and then they have proper SEO on their website, then Google's going to put them in that local 7-pack and
For free.
For free. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? So
Well,
let me ask you this: so when you go on,
well, because it's cumbersome and it's complicated. I'm going to show you that in a minute.
okay.
It's a can of worms. It's really a can of worms.
But here's my question: if you were to go onto a website, say you were looking for your business, and you were to go and it was there, but that question wasn't on, you know, are you the owner of this business? What if you didn't see that? How do you get to claim and optimize your listing?
Okay, so if the business has already been claimed, let's say somebody, because this happens also, people claim the wrong business by mistake, or, you know, Google's got their records, you know, screwed up. You have the opportunity to contact Google and say, hey, this is my listing. I don't know who, you know, who's managing the listing, but it's mine. So that you do, as a business owner, if somebody's claimed your listing inappropriately or by mistake, or Google has listed it as incorrectly, as somebody else owning it, then there is a process to go through to actually get that turned over to you so that you can then update it and optimize it the way that you see fit.
Got it.
So the Google Places, obviously there's a lot of features and benefits to having that optimized, but you can do a ton of things with that. You don't necessarily have to have a brick and mortar business. If you work from home, you don't even have to list an address. You can just put your service areas on there and say, you know, I service, you know, these areas in the greater Tampa area, and blah blah blah, and then you can, you know, optimize that. Put photos. Have you heard of QR codes? Have you seen those things before?
Yeah.
Those square, boxy, funky-looking things.
Yeah.
But you can do a lot with those. All that is you use your smart phone, use your cell phone, your camera function on your cell phone. You take a picture of it, and boom, it takes you to a website. So you can tie that into whatever you want. It could be a coupon, it could be Facebook, it could be your website, it could be anything you want. It allows you real-time updates, just like Facebook. So if you want to keep your audience updated, you can go ahead and do that. Coupons that I had mentioned as well, also including the mobile formatting for coupons, ads, you know, if you got any specials going on. And it's also the Google Places, by claiming that, you get the local business center enhanced dashboard. You get all those great statistics and to see exactly how people are finding your business, where they're coming from, what they're doing, exactly where they're clicking, all kinds of neat stuff. So Google Places, they evolved from 2009 into 2011. They created their own thing called Hot Pot. It was like supposed to be in competition with Yelp, and that was, you know, they tried, you know how Google tries their own things. They integrate things, and then they say, well, that didn't work, and they try something else. So, but they realized how important ratings and reviews were. But you said those 4 out of 5 ratings that you're so familiar with seeing, saying Google rating 4 out of 5, the back-end product they had was called Hot Pot, and most people have no idea what that was, or it disappeared. But anyways, what they did was they used that for their own ratings and reviews, because they were pulling in ratings and reviews from Yelp, you know, City Search, all these other places, and they started getting lawsuits saying, hey, you know, these are our ratings and reviews. And, you know, so what they did was they said, okay, they never, you know, nothing ever came out of the lawsuits, but they said, okay, if people are getting edgy with us pulling in ratings and reviews from other people, we're going to create our own. So that's where they created Hot Pot. And then they started this Google Circles last year, about a year ago. And that was like, everybody thought, okay, what's this Google Circles thing all about? And it started out with just individual people, kind of like just having a Facebook page. Are you familiar with Google Circles at all?
No.
Yeah, it's very similar to Facebook, and I'll show you, you know, what that looks like. But basically, you know, the way that works is you set up your own social profile on Google, and it's similar to Facebook, but it looks like Google, and it's different. It's different. But anyways, Google Circles, the way that they structured theirs, which is different than Facebook, was that, okay, we all have our different circles that we are involved with, whether it be work-related, family-related, interest-related. And they realized that with Facebook, when you become friends with somebody on Facebook, you can see everything. And now they've got different settings where you can kind of reduce that so that, basically only friends of mine, but still it doesn't give you the option to create a circle. Basically either you're a friend or you're not a friend on Facebook. Well, with Google, they saw that, problem, and they said, oh, well, this is really easy. All we got to do is create circles so that depending on, what your relationship is with that individual, you can create your own circle. So if it's work-related, you can create a circle, and within work, you can create circles within circles. And, with its family, you can create, maybe immediate family, extended family, family members I like, family members I hate. You can create as many circles as you want, and then you can control what they see on your Google Plus account based on what you decide to share, because you only share with the circles that you want to. So if you want to share with a post with just your family, immediate family, or your extended family, or your extended family plus your work people, or certain circles at work, or certain interests that you have, whether maybe it's horseback riding or golf, or maybe you want to share it with one circle that you've got an interest in and not another circle. So that's how Google differentiated themselves from Facebook, was with Google Circles. So you might want to check that out if you haven't. If you don't, do you have a Google Gmail or anything like that?
I do. I have a Gmail account, yeah.
You can go ahead and set up your Google Plus account, and you've probably been prompted a few times already to do this and probably have just ignored it. But you can get in there and configure your own Google page, just like a Facebook page. So
wow.
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yes. So get on there and take a look at it. And when I first looked at it, because I got invited by somebody back in June of last year, actually. And when I first looked at it, I was like, I'm burnt out on all these different social things, and I don't. What's the point of setting up another one? And then as time went on, I said, oh, what the heck, I'll set it up anyways. And it's interesting and it's neat, and it's just one more thing, that you can have, as an online presence that has different features and functionality than Facebook. and they've got.
So, is it like is it more for the business
it's actually for both. That's a great question. It's for both now. So you can have one for yourself, one page for yourself, and one page for your business that are totally separate.
And let me ask you this, for the business part of it, is it similar to, I'm thinking LinkedIn?
It's different. It's similar and different.
Okay.
It's similar to Facebook. It's similar to LinkedIn, but it's different. It's its own.
Okay.
It's its own thing. It's got its own whole laundry list of things that you can do with it that are similar and different. So it's just something you need to check out.
And let me ask you this: what would be the underlying benefits if you did have Google Circles as as a business aspect? What would be the underlying benefit? I mean, when people
that's key. That's very that's exactly what I'm driving at. The benefit there is it's tied into your Google Places page. That's how they got Google Plus Local. That is now that's your that business page that I showed you earlier that said Google Plus Local when I had the two red boxes. When you're on that local 7-pack and you click on the ratings and reviews, that's where you get sent, is to that Google business page, and that's what it is. So that's how they combined them all together. But I figured, I give you a little history lesson on how that all came about and how it's all tied together. But that's how it all works.
Interesting.
Yep. So this is it, Google Plus Local. Google Plus Pages to Businesses came out in November of last year. Very similar to Facebook. And then what they did was their hot pot thing wasn't working too good, so they bought Zagat. And Zagat was like the #1 review site out there on the internet, and so they just bought them. And so
Is
that's
Jagged just a restaurant, or is it everything?
it's a whole bunch of stuff. But
Oh,
there's no one place that's got ratings and reviews for every single industry, but it was the most all-encompassing rating and review place out there. So I mean, it's stuff that competes with Angie's List. It's stuff that is in its specific industries. There's all kinds of stuff that Zagat you can put on Zagat.
interesting.
Basically, if you've got a local business of any kind, you can get on Zagat, or now you can get on Google because they own Zagat, and you get on there and you put a review, and that's where that rating scale, that 30-point rating scale, came from, and that's how Google Plus Local was born. So this is it. This is the Zagat right here. This is where the ratings and reviews are coming
Yep.
from.
Yep.
When you get on there, you take a look at the little question marks and everything. Click around on that. You can see, how, what it all means. Obviously, this is a restaurant, but if you do a search on, hair salons, same thing. So the
Wow, that's
Google
interesting.
setup, I had told you that it's sort of a can of worms to get it set up correctly, and it really is. There's so many things that go in to setting it up. You've got your website. Okay, and that's what this main site means, your website right here. It feeds
Yeah.
into your Google Plus your Google Places listing, which is now Google Plus Local.
Yep.
You can add coupons, updates and coupons. Video marketing, there's a place for videos. So you create videos, put them on YouTube, and have them connect back to your Google Places listing. There's the pictures that you put on your Google Places listing. You want to make sure that those are optimized with your keywords as well, and make sure that you host them on Google's own picture hosting site, which is called Picasa. And then there'll be the same pictures that are tied into your main site. So you got pictures on your main site. They're also, there. They're optimized and pointing to, your Google Places and your main site. You've got your traditional, search engine optimization for your main site, and how well your website is built and optimized ties into Google Places and how that's going to rank. Citation sites, that just means where's there somebody else mentioning your business, your name, address, and phone number. They call it the NAP. Where else? Is it in Yellow Book? Is it City Search? There's literally hundreds of places online. I mean, you live in Tampa. Is there a local, some citation site in, Tampa area that's got your place listed on there? So basically what you want to do is go out to all those citation sites and correct any errors, because if it's not correct in the citation where somebody's mentioning you, then it won't give you as much power for ranking for your Google Places in that Google Plus Local 7-pack that I had mentioned. There's industry directories, so that if you're in healthcare or if you're in home improvement, or if you're in banking or accounting, that whatever industry directories are out there that have your business listed, you want to make sure that's also correct. If there's any ratings and reviews, then there's local directories. There's a Tampa, local directory, which is very common, or a Florida local directory, or industry-specific local directory. All these different directories. Then if there's ratings and reviews for those directories, they all pump into these things that then funnel into Google Places and also into your main site. So everything is connected together. And
Right.
it really is complex when you look at it. In fact, just to do a Google Plus Local setup, this is what's called a mind map that you're looking at. And it's a 9-week process. Kind of zoom in, to week 1 here. These are the things that have to be done, in the first week, to begin this process. So, yeah, yes, you can go to the local business center and jump in there and just start doing stuff. But if you're not organized and you don't know how it works, you have no experience with it, you're not going to ever get on Google's page 1, because your Google Plus Local setup is basically a mess. Because
Right.
you didn't approach it right, and nothing. Hold on. Whoops. Uh-oh, hang on. Let me try this.
Are those your cats?
That's our cats, yeah. I hit the wrong button. Getting back up to, up here, to get this Google Places thing on the page one, all these things tie in,
Right.
so I just wanted to just kind of let you know that it's a very specific process to go through to get that Google Plus Local set up correctly. It's not something that you just say, oh, okay, this is cool. I'll just go ahead and type in some information. No, there's a whole process, and it's not overnight. It takes typically, about 3 months, for it to get set up correctly, to go through all that stuff, and to go through the proper steps and the proper sequence so that it's correctly set up, and then to have the possibility of it getting on the page one, and if it's on page one, getting it to get to get it to the A ranking, because you got A through G. That's the Google Plus Local 7-pack, and if it's on G, you can get it moving up the ladder from G, H, on up to A over time. But it's a very specific method to complete correctly. So that's it. So in terms of Google Plus Local in this 7-pack, here it is: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well,
Yep.
out of these, who do you think is going to get the clicks? I mean, you're going to look at this, I'm going to look at this, and my eyes look at, okay, 6 reviews, no reviews, no reviews, 8 reviews, 39 reviews,
Right.
27 out of, I'm going to click on one of these two guys down here. So
Right.
even though it's an F or a G, the way that the human, psyche works is you're looking for some social proof. You want to make sure that, a lot of people are happy with it, and so we're going to be keyed into that. And that's the next thing that we want to take a look at, social signals and how important that is. 90% of consumers trust online reviews and recommendations and ratings.
Wow.
90%. And they'll look at that.
Because it's the real deal. I mean, it's real people, writing in or commenting in.
Exactly.
I mean, even with, I used to be in the travel business, so now you have TripAdvisor. And, I mean, I don't go to any hotel or anything without going to is it TripAdvisor? Yeah, TripAdvisor, to get, some real comments from people who've actually stayed there. So it's on the same idea. And so it's real people talking about their experiences with this business. I mean, why wouldn't you trust it,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we all are looking for social proof, and that's just the way that the human psyche works. And we want to make sure, that we're going to be dealing with we're going to be provided with a similar type of experience that what other people have found. And so that's what we're looking for. And
Right.
that's just a fact of life. So
And we all want to keep up with the Joneses, so, if Mr. Jones says it's a great thing, then, you got to jump on it,
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a key thing. These social signals and a strategy that partners of mine and I use are these cards that we create for businesses that are called social signal igniters, is what we call them. And here's an example of one. This guy's name is Jeff Schwert. And he's out of Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona area. And this is one of his clients. He put this together for Fusion Fitness out there in the, I think it's the Scottsdale area of Phoenix. And this is an actual card that they hand to it's a fitness gym, is what it is. And they have a boot camp. And so at the end of the boot camp, and this is, we talked about, this QR code, where you can just take a picture of it with your phone.
Yeah.
And what it'll do is it'll take you to the site to go ahead and leave a review. How cool is that?
That's really cool.
So you just put that in, you work that into your workflow processes. So, at whatever point it makes sense, maybe they're leaving or checking out, they got some sort of interaction at the counter, the program's done, the instructor's done, here's a card. We really appreciate your business. If you think we did a good job, we'd appreciate it. if you, let us know online how we did. Simple as that. You just work it into the process, and that's how you get those 39, 40, 50, 60, hundreds of reviews online.
Reviews.
There's something.
Right.
Let's say you're a dentist. You can do the same thing with an appointment reminder. Say, okay, just got your new crown in. Hope that thing works great for you. And by the way, if you want mine, if you get a chance when you get home, this is something you can make the size of something large, a little bit larger than a business card, maybe about double the size, something that stands out, something that fits in their purse, something that, will remind them when they get home, okay, this is my reminder, and, oh yeah, that crown is excellent, or that teeth cleaning, or those new veneers I got, I just love them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm going to take a picture of this and go on Kudzu, which is another huge review site, and just let them know that, hey, that dentist was excellent. And that's how you get these social signals building on the web for your business. Here's another one.
Kudzu is linked to like Google plus local as well, and
there's so many. What was the review site you just mentioned?
TripAdvisor.
TripAdvisor. So you could have one for TripAdvisor. Whatever review site corresponds best for your business, and for dentists, it just happens to be Kudzu.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So whatever fits with whatever business you're in.
I see what you're saying. Okay, but all of them will link to the reviews that you see on the Google Plus Local.
Not all of them, no. But
okay.
What will happen is if you have reviews on your site, Google's only going to show Zagat, okay? So, but what Google does is they know about the reviews that you're getting across the web because they're a data aggregator, and they will rank your website and your Google plus local listing higher if you've got reviews from places like Kudzu. It doesn't have to come, the ratings and reviews, your Google plus local 7-pack is influenced by ratings and reviews from across the web, not just from their own Zagat. So they take all of that into consideration when ranking that 7-pack. So if you're getting ratings and reviews, at Kudzu, Google knows about it, and they will rank your site higher in that local 7-pack.
Okay.
Here's another one just for Yelp, same thing. But you get the concept. Put it on a card, put it in the workflow, and get it to your customer, and give them an opportunity to give you feedback. Most people like to give businesses feedback. I do.
Right.
If I have a good experience, I'm happy to go online and let other people know about it.
So a lot of times they give you an incentive. They'll put you in a drawing for, whatever, if you do it.
Oh, it's endless. The number of different things that you can come up with to work it in, to promote people leaving reviews. And there's just all kinds of different scenarios and things that you can come up with to get people doing that. But you've got to have some mechanism to do it, and that's what these cards do. It's the mechanism. So
that's cool.
So anyway, social signals are hugely important, and they're critical to online marketing success. And it's one thing that very few business owners are doing that they could do to easily start, getting more business. Because they're getting the social signals, and they could, it doesn't matter how poor their website is, what's going on. If they claim their local, their Google plus local listing, and they start getting, they get a system in place to start getting those reviews, even before they have their listing optimized, it doesn't matter that those rankings and reviews, it doesn't matter where a person, I don't care if you don't even have a Google plus local, page set up at all or even claimed. As long as you start getting those reviews online, that will build up, and when you do get that page set up and optimized, all that stuff comes forward, and you will immediately climb. So that's the first step people need to do is just start getting
Right.
getting those ratings and reviews at those review sites that are applicable to their industry and to their business. And do it immediately. Don't waste any time. There's no reason to waste time or wait on anything.
Now, how do you set up an online review type scenario? Like, okay, so say the business up north, which my girlfriend, it's already existing, so she's already got students that come and go. I was one of them 8 years ago.
Right.
How would I, like, I know I went on her Facebook page and was like, anybody out there, this is the go-to place. You definitely, if you're looking to increase your skills, this is where you want to be. But how does she set up an online review process?
Oh, that's easy. Just do a Google search, number one, on whatever it is. Okay, so we're talking about. I would say the best. I would probably type into Google best Microsoft Office trainers, or I would just start doing research. If I was to try to find a bit without knowing your girlfriend's business,
Yeah.
and you're just looking for a trainer, what would you type in? And then what you'll see is listings of directories and review sites that will review it. So you gotta find out what sites capture reviews. All right. So once you figure out what sites are capturing the reviews for your specific industry, for those things, if you were doing the research and you were trying to find a reputable, good place to go for Microsoft Office training, where would you wind up finding reviews? Then once you find reviews, then you set up your system to go ahead and point your existing customers to those review sites and say, will you do me a favor, go to this site and just let me know how we're doing. I really appreciate your feedback, whether it be one of those social igniter cards that you hand out, whether it be an email follow-up, that you have to your clients, assuming that you have some sort of system in place where you're capturing email, and so that you can send them email and ask them for a review. There, you could have it right on your website, so that a person, after they take their training class, once they're done with that particular section, that module, and when it's finished, just say, would you please do me a favor, click on this link, and tell us how we did with that. And that'll send them to the review site, so then they can read a review. Oh, I just took, the beginners module for Microsoft Word, and it was the best. I learned more things that I can immediately put into use that I ever possibly could have thought of, that ever knew. Just amazing what you don't know, that what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right.
So does that give you some brain food to think about it?
Yeah. So what I would do is I would Google like best Microsoft Office computer trainers for New Hampshire or whatever, and then there would be some sites up there that we could subscribe to, or what the word is, so that we can send people to that site to give us reviews?
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have to subscribe. What you would have to do is first do the research yourself to find out, is there any place online anybody can leave a review for my type of business, number one, okay? And if and then look at, when you do your keyword research, and if you see in the listings that there are Google reviews, then you know that, okay, you can definitely get a Google review associated with that type of business, and you now know where Google reviews are pulling from. They're pulling from, Google Plus Local, from the Zagat review system. So you know that if you do a search and you see that there's a local 7-pack, then right then and there, okay, well, I know exactly where these reviews are coming from. That's coming from the Google Plus Local listing.
Right.
And so you once you do the Google search and you see there's reviews, you click on the review, find out what site these reviews are coming from, and then that's where you direct your customers to those same sites.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Simple as that.
That's awesome.
Yep. Now here's a kind of
That'd be great.
the next part here is where's all this going? Okay, it's mobile. Everything's going mobile. Google now. Like I said, that we got the links in here, so when you get the presentation, the download, you can go ahead and click on the links. Some people think it's creepy. I don't know if you know this about your cell phone, but it's got all kinds of gadgets in there. It knows how fast it goes. It knows where you're at. It's got a GPS locator. It knows right where you're at. It knows how fast you're going. It knows what you're searching on the web. It knows, I mean, so much, it's kind of scary. It's kind of like George Orwellian-ish and everything. But with Google, they can tap into all that data. They can predict. They know what time you're getting up. They know what routes you travel. They know what sports teams you follow. They know what the weather is, and they start popping you up on your cell phone with these little card things now and saying, oh, you're going to get your coffee. Oh, take your umbrella. It's raining today. Traffic is tied up. There was an accident on the 401, and, it's going to take an extra 10 minutes to get to work, so you better leave early. And by the way, your favorite coffee shop has a special. 20% off today on their omelets. All these things Google can now give you on your phone and it just pops up, just like a text message. Oh, new card. Oh, what's that all about? Oh, Google's telling me, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just won or are on, Thursday night football or whatever it is they want to tell you, or traffic is horrible, or there's a tropical storm coming in, and you need to know that you need to be aware of all the weather alerts and the high wind advisory. It just feeds you up this stuff, or as it knows your routes. I mean, it's just kind of weird. But where does it pull all this stuff? It pulls it from Google Places, which is now Google Plus Local. So if you've got a Google Plus Local Places listing optimized, then that's giving Google everything that it needs so that, you will pop up in a card format if you go to that restaurant, or to that diner, or, to that hair place, and they got a coupon or they got a new review. It will pop up, and it gives it instead of you looking for information, it's now pushing information. That's what Google now is.
Wow.
Is that pretty amazing or what?
It really is amazing. Technology just blows my mind. It does.
It is. So that's where that's going. And why is it all going that way? Well, here's the statistics. By 2015, this is from a B.I. Kelsey research study that they did, but right now here we are, 2012, and right now we're looking at about a third of all internet traffic is going through cell phones, smartphones, mobile phones. That's pretty amazing, because I remember just a few years ago, it didn't seem like more than a few years ago when I first was able to get internet on my phone, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, but it's too small and forget it. And then the Apple came out where you could expand, use your fingers to expand the web page so you could see it better.
Yeah.
That's when I really started using my iPhone, for internet, and finding it very convenient, and I started getting into the habit. So I'm like probably split, in the amount of, it depends. If I'm out and about, of course, I'm going to use my iPhone to look everything up on my iPhone. If I'm at home, I prefer the big display while I'm at home. But
yeah, I do too. But yeah, you're right. With the expansion, being able to expand the screen to make the writing bigger, so people our age can see it.
Yeah.
Definitely started using my phone more often for searching stuff on the internet. Absolutely.
Yeah. But this is where it's all going. This is the future here, and they're saying that by 2015 that mobile search will surpass desktop search. And so basically the bottom line is mobile is the is where people need to be in their businesses to be able to cater to these people that are using their mobile phones, and they need to know about this, and they need to be prepared for it and to get out in front of it rather than let their competitors get out in front of it, because whoever's ever first to market or starts dominating the market first, they're going to capture the customers. Simple as that. But these are just some key mobile insights. Let's see here. Just hit the highlights real quick. 70% 1 week to act on a search if you're using your computer at home. But if you're mobile, guess what? You're going to act within 1 hour. That's pretty big difference. Let's see, mobile use grows steadily throughout the day. There are more misspellings on mobile queries. This is just things that you need to know about. 40% of mobile searches are local. Only 20% of desktop searches are local. So basically that means people are out and about looking for things locally.
Yeah. And I can see why they would be acted on within an hour as opposed to, getting on your computer and looking something up and be like, I'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
But when you're mobile, it's usually, it's that instant gratification. You need it now. That's why you're looking at it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. Advertisers with mobile optimized sites and mobile targeted campaigns have seen an average 11.5% increase in mobile click-through rates. So what that means is that, if you're targeting people with mobile ads, that they're more effective on the mobile phone. Basically, if you're doing AdWords on the desktop versus AdWords on the mobile. Remember when we first started the presentation, I said there's two types of advertisements. They got the desktop AdWords, and then you got the ad mobile. Well, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about that what that means is people are they get an 11.5% better response with the mobile than they do with the desktop. So it just means they're more effective.
Wow.
Let's see.
Let me ask you this, just kind of a little off topic, not much, but what do you think about SMS marketing, text message marketing?
Oh, SMS is awesome.
Right? You think?
Absolutely. I mean, the stats are unbelievable. When you get a text message, versus, okay, let's just take the two different scenarios. You get an email, from Sally's hair salon, versus you get a text message from Sally's hair salon. If you get an email, the chances of you opening that email, I think, are like 1 in 5. Even though email is very personal and most people do scan through their email, most people, when they see it's from a business and they see, it's nothing critical, it's not a friend, whatnot. But if it's a text message, the stats are like 70% will open that text message, even though they know it's from Sally's Beauty Salon. They'll click on the text message. Text messaging is way, way more personal than email. And
the great thing about text message marketing is that it's personal and it's a warm call as opposed to a cold call. Like email, email's out. Nobody even opens their junk folder anymore. Everything goes straight to junk folder, and then you just go to your junk folder and you delete it once in a while. You don't even open it. You don't look at it. You don't care. With text message, it's like, oh, I got a text message. You take a look at it. It's from me. I have Bath and Body Works because I love their products. So every now and then, and it doesn't oversaturate like the email. So you get a text message from Bath and Body Works saying, hey, we got a sale this Saturday, buy one, get one free candles from 3 to 6. I'm like, I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a product I want, it's a product I like, and I've opted in, and I can opt out at any time, but I don't want to because I want to know when Bath and Body Works is having a sale on candles or lotions or whatever. So, yeah, I'm totally, I'm wondering how I can incorporate text message marketing with this business.
Oh gosh,
I know, and
you can be creative.
Figured it out.
Yeah, you can be creative. If you go to my website, you'll see when you get the presentation, and you click on my little logo, you'll see that I've got it set up on my website But basically, I do the same thing. If somebody's going to opt in for text messaging, well, guess what? I'm going to treat those people like gold. I'm going to give them the best information that they can act on, and I'm going to give them the best discounts that I can possibly afford, because I want to keep that relationship with them, because I know that they are the hottest either customer or potential customer that I can possibly have. If they're that interested in me, that they're going to trust me with their mobile phone number, then I am going to treat that like gold.
Right.
And I am going to market to them, with only the best that I've got. And that's the way all businesses are going to treat it.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a business, when we get people registering for our classes, and and like I said, a lot of them are going to come from the, how do I word it politically correctly? They don't have a whole lot of money. So they're not going to be the ones that are going to, once the government pays for their class and they move on, they're probably never going to come back. But the goal here is to say to their mom or grandmom, they do the Skype class too, here at this place that I've been going to for, you might want to give them a call. I bet you could take a class. That's really, it's more of the referral. After these people come and go and they take our classes and they gain the skills and experience, then they know, well, we also do all this other stuff too, and they can be a referral base for us.
And you could, and to keep those, people interested in that type of, stuff, continue, as things, whatever class they did take. Let's say that, a new version comes out, or you discover a new feature, you could just send them a quick little text and say, hey, I appreciate you being my customer. If you go to this site, I put together another 15-minute tutorial at no charge, no cost, just to give you a heads up about some additional features, that have been added or that we just discovered since you took the class. And, mix it in with things that are directly related to what it is that they have already, been accustomed to experiencing from you, and then blend it in with, and oh, by the way, if there's any other, benefit that you could derive from, Skype training, or your mother or your father or a friend, just then open it up to some other things, so it doesn't come across as, you trying to sell, but, you're just trying to find other things that you can provide to them that would benefit them or people that they care about, and they'll thank you for it, saying, yeah, I've been trying to get her to Skype me for like 3 years, but I can't get her to learn it. Yeah, I'm going to definitely click on that link, and then I'm going to send that link to Mom and get Mom on Skype.
That's exactly where I want to go with this. And I know that it can be accomplished, and I know there's a cost to it, but what I'm leery of is my girlfriend, who is the business owner, is nearing retirement. She's been a one-man operation up to this point. If and when I take this business over, this is all stuff that I have planned. And I don't know what her plans are, but I've already brought some of these things to her attention, how we need more exposure on the internet, how we should probably do some follow-up marketing with her current students or past students, all this stuff. And I think she's a little overwhelmed with my energy and where I want to go with it. But my key concern is that I don't want to have to be present to make money. I want to be able, I want to be able to, to market her business as online tutorials in the way that it's just a rollover residual income where people are clicking, paying $5 for a 1-hour Word workshop, whatever, and then move it forward from there and increase. Oh, they really like that. Now they want to do the session 1 on Excel, and now they want to, learn more about Outlook or whatever. Now they want to tell their parents about Skype. You can take a $5 online tutorial and learn everything you need to know about Skype. It'll walk you through it. Ma, take it. Take the $5, pay it, do it, whatever. So with that comes all this technology and everything that you just went over today, the search engine optimization and the Google Plus Local and the text message marketing is something I've already been looking into. It is so overwhelming for me as a younger person, younger than her anyway, and somebody that's going to be doing this. Once she steps out, I'm going to be stepping into her role. This is all stuff I want to already have in place.
Oh, absolutely. And the challenge, like we talked about earlier, is to go down any one of these bunny trails. There's a lot to learn, and just to pick it up and start doing it. It's like, what's the opportunity cost of, trying to learn every single piece of technology and tool out there versus just get a hold of companies that know how to do this stuff and say, okay, this is what I want to do. Guide me through it. I mean,
right.
My God, believe me, I've been involved in this, full time for 8 months, learning all this, all of the different, strategies and techniques and how it's all tied together. There's no possible way a small business owner or even a medium-sized business owner could take it upon themselves to master these things, to do these things effectively. There's no way.
Right.
There's
right.
no way.
There's no way. And especially even somebody who is in the computer business, sort of, the software industry, like there's so many different roads that you can travel down. There's no way that you would even have the time. And even if say you hired, like I know the company I used to work for hired a girl to be the marketing coordinator for this Tampa region. It's a property management company. And I actually emailed her one day before I left and said, I want to pick your brain about social media marketing. And she was like, oh, I'm not even there yet. And I'm like, but you're supposed to be the marketing guru. Like, what do you mean you don't know anything about? She knows about it, but she couldn't really give me much insight. She's like, I'm still trying to learn it, and I'm still trying to, and I'm like, oh, I figured I already assumed that you were already putting our property management company on Facebook and Craigslist and, Twitter and LinkedIn, and I would have assumed that you were that go-to girl. But she does all the online advertising, and she updates all the websites, and really that's all she does. And I'm like, oh, honey, you could be doing so much more. Why did they lay me off and keep you?
Yeah.
I'm the one. But anyway, so you're right. Even somebody who you would expect would be up to date on all that, online marketing and social media marketing. And she's really just and she's young. She's in her 20s.
Well, you know what? The people that are effective at it and the people that are really stomping it are the ones that go out there and they get a coach or they hire a company to do it for them, and they tie it up. There's so much that you can do to tie things together, from the blog on your website to your Twitter updates to your Facebook updates to your Google updates, and all these things. To at least get all the top ones to really create an online presence where you're relative in your market, you're interesting, and you're building a following, a tribe, of people that connect with you in the way that you're looking to connect with. That takes skill and it takes expertise to learn the tools, the technologies, and the etiquette to do it all properly. And the ones that are successful are the ones that just went out, got help, hired somebody, and said, set this stuff up for me, show me how to do it, and then I'll take it over, and I'll add my own personality to it. But you connect all these dots, and you set up all these things, and then I'll do it myself, and that's exactly what we do.
Got it. So your business basically is you put all the components together, and you're basically the nucleus of you're my go-to guy to do everything that needs to get done to get that web presence that I'm looking for.
Exactly. And then I work with all the technical people that have their areas of expertise in, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, website design and development, autoresponders, email, text messaging, mobile, whatever the specifics are. It's my job to tie it together, to create a plan, to come up with a return on investment over time, and take it step by step, because you can't do everything at once, and you want to start getting a return so that you're driving traffic and you're getting customers, and then you build on that. You just build on that and build on that. So
Okay.
that's where I come in, and that's what my job is with my partners, is to go ahead and evaluate where somebody's at, what they're trying to accomplish, and put together a package that makes financial sense to them, that gives them the best return on investment that they can possibly expect from a team of experts, setting up these things, and then taking it from there and adding their personality to it and working on growing their business, not working on becoming experts at technology that is just way over and above and beyond what they have time to get involved with.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, and that's just pretty much everybody. I mean, the only people that have time to do these things are the ones that are actually experts at it, and they're providing these services for other people. So I'm sorry. This is Google's report. It's called Mobile Stats and Insights, and you'll have access to it. I think it's like I want to say it's quite extensive report, run around 40 or 50 pages long. But this is the executive summary here.
Yeah.
And it's just hitting the highlights on how important smartphones and those devices are right now, and how they're used, and how consumers are using them, and how important it is to have a mobile optimized presence on the net. And there's two different kinds of websites out there. There's your standard website on the right. You and I have seen that. That's what I use as an iPhone. And I'd say more than 9 times out of 10, probably more like 95 times out of 100, I get the image on the right, and I'm trying to expand it with my fingers and look at it and zoom in, and it's a pain in the butt. That's because they have a standard website. But on the left, that's a mobile website, and that's what that is basically a site that you're redirected to, because the website knows that you're what device you're on. It knows that you're on a mobile site, so it serves up a totally different site. It's got all the same graphics and the same feel to it, but it's thumb friendly, and it's driving your attention to what is it that you want to do. Like here on Domino's Pizza, well, order from our menu. Coupons. Yeah, find a store, track my order, log in to my account. My Bank of America, it's the same way. What are the key things that I want to do on Bank of America? That's what a mobile site does.
Right.
That's the difference. So
now that you say that, because when I go on my SunTrust account when I'm on my phone, it looks different than when I'm on the computer. Obviously, but yeah, now I'm realizing what you're meaning by this. Yeah, this is good.
It's got those big thumb-friendly buttons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I never noticed it before. But you're right. Now, let me ask you this: for somebody like a bank or a pizza place or something like that, do they have to create 2 separate websites, or is your phone basically taking, or the website realizing that the request is coming from a mobile phone and it's sending you back the information you need, user-friendly for a mobile phone?
There's 2 different. There's the way technology is. There's several different ways to do it. There's a mobile-specific website that you can have. There's add-ins that you can add to your website, so that your website knows that it's coming from a mobile device, so that it'll automatically serve up something different. That's the way my site, Local Client Marketing Pros, does. I've got what's called a plugin. I use WordPress for my website, and I've got a plugin so that it knows that hey, this is a mobile phone, and so it's, in fact, next slide. Hang on. So this is my, on my website on my iPhone looks like this. Call us, directions, give me your name and email. And it's just real, basically, that's all you're going to see. And if you scroll down a little bit, it'll say go to my main site, where you can, do the, go up and, try to expand it and look at it like the site on the right. So there's that option. You can have like Olive Garden, where you simply, have a dedicated mobile site, and then there's a third kind that's called responsive design, which basically reconfigures the site, with one website, so that, like for a mobile site right here, for Olive Garden, they've got, they have a separate website. It's probably like m.olivegarden. M stands for mobile, m.olivegarden.com. Or it could be olivegarden.mobi for mobile.com, which is separate than olivegarden.com. So there's two different websites that they have, but through the auto detection that you can put on your website, they know that if it's a cell phone, send them over here to this website. If it's a desktop, send them over here to the big website. So that's it's just technology that handles it on the back end, and there's lots of different platforms and ways to do it. But the bottom line is the experience that your customer has. They don't care what technology they're using. All they care about is if I'm using my iPhone, or if I'm using my Android or my BlackBerry or whatever the heck it is that I have, and I hit Olive Garden, am I going to see, or Domino's Pizza, am I going to see something that looks like, that's on the right and hard to scroll around and I got to zoom in and zoom out, or am I going to get something on the left, which is customer friendly, it's got the main features that I'm looking for, and I don't have to zoom in, I can just click the buttons and do what I need to do.
Right.
That's the difference. So basically for mobile sites, that's where the world's going. So you better make sure that your website has those things configured from a technology perspective, so that when a mobile device hits your website, if they want to sign up for a class, if that's what you want them to do, boom, then you better have a button to sign up for a class. Or you want to look at the class schedule, boom, hit a button to look at the class schedule. Register for a class, whatever actions it is that you want them to take, you want to have a nice big fat button, so when they hit that website on their mobile device, you're funneling them in to take the actions and to serve them the information that they would need while they're mobile, running around doing their thing. Make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
So, but these are just some best practices, for mobile sites. Basically, just keep it quick, simple, thumb-friendly, local. And then on the bottom, use mobile site redirects. That's just technology. That's what that means. That just means that they don't care, what technology you're using. Basically, just direct them so that if they're on a mobile site, they see the mobile version of your website. If they're on a mobile device, that they see the mobile version of your website. That's what that means. Then make it easy to convert, make it seamless, just it's all about design, accessibility, and then also getting feedback, from, your customers, and finding out, hey, what features, are missing that we should add? What features are on there that aren't working good? It's an iterative process, and that's the one thing that people need to keep in mind, is that putting together the first draft of anything, it's going to be a learning experience, and you need to continuously optimize it as time goes forward. So really quickly, kind of to recap, from search, we looked at Google, the 800-pound gorilla. How important it is to be on page one, how huge of a difference that means to your business, and knowing what the lifetime, customer value is, and what, one new customer, because of what you do to get on page one, if it's AdWords, if it's your Google local, Google Plus local listing, your website, however you get on page one, if you get on page one, 9 out of 10 people aren't going past page one. So you need to be on page one. You need to know what keywords, that are going to be relative to your business that you want to be found for. So it's huge. Search engine optimization, being on page one, and then social, making sure that people trust your business so that they see those ratings and reviews, and they're getting those social signals that, you're the site that has, 39, 75, 100, reviews, and boom, they're going to click on that. They're going to see all this positive feedback. They're going to be like, I trust, I trust this place. And that's it's just human nature. It's just the way we're built.
Yeah.
And then mobile, make sure that, you cater to the people with mobile devices, because, right now it's about, what is it, 1/3, of people, that's all they use is a mobile device. Well, in another year or two, it'll be more than half of the people. That's all they will be using is a mobile device. So it's important to get out in front of that right now. So basically, wrapping this presentation up, and next steps would be, to get a detailed analysis of, how your business ranks in your market for your keywords. How's it showing up? What page is it? Is it on page 10 of Google? Is it on page 1 of Google? How does it rank in your market for those keywords? And each keyword is going to be different. So if you got something that says like Microsoft Office training trainer, or Microsoft Word trainer, or Microsoft Excel trainer, or whatever, those different keywords are going to rank, whatever search term you put in will rank differently. So you're probably going to have, 10 or 15 or 20 keywords that are going to be scattered all over the board. Some may be on page 1, some may be on page 2, some may be on page 20. But at least you'll know, if you can get a detailed analysis of your girlfriend's business to say, how are you ranking, for these keywords that we want to be found for, that you need to get a baseline, a snapshot of where you're at right now. And that's very important to do, just to find out right now, where am I at? And in addition to that, what kind of reviews are out there online right now? Do you know what reviews? Do you know what other websites are listing your site, either citing your site, have your name, address, and phone number listed on their website in some sort of directory, some sort of listing? Is it accurate? Does it have your website listed accurately, your phone number, your address? All these things, that's the benchmark, the baseline that people need to find out. Secondly is to optimize that Google plus local, i.e. or formerly Google Places listing, and get that set up correctly. And then to have a strategy for reputation management and acquiring positive social signals, and lastly have that mobile website configured. So that's tying the big things, the foundation that everything is built on. And then from there, you add on all the extra things onto your online presence. But this is the baseline of how to get started, in online marketing, and using that, since it offers the best return on investment you can possibly get. This is, these are the 4 things.
Okay.
You can do that through us. I'll be happy. I can give you a free detailed local listings ranking report, and go through it with you.
Okay.
And it won't cost a penny. It's one of the things that we've got set up. One of the services that we provide. Take a look at your website and run it through our software tool that we have that'll then spit out everything online about you. Where's your website ranking? Do you have did you claim your Google listing? And guess what? Not only does Google have their own listing, so does Yahoo and Bing. They're out there. They've got their own things that are similar to the Google Plus Local. But it'll show everything. Everything about your online presence, how you're ranking. It'll show you Facebook likes. It'll go through all that social stuff. Are you on Twitter? Wow. Are you on Facebook? All that stuff pops out. It also pops out the same stuff about your competitors, so you know what your competitors are doing. You know what keywords they're ranking for.
Right.
You know who your competition is. It's just a great baseline to find out right where you're at. So that's my recommendation, is to go ahead and take advantage of that for free, and then we can take it from there. Another thing is to get started with something. This is what we offer. Like I said, my partner out in Arizona, he offers these social igniters cards, and basically what you get, it's $100 to get started with that. And Now, this is something that I don't know, what the setup of your particular business is, but if you had a brick and mortar business where you're having interaction with customers and you could hand them something to say, here, we would customize, cards, in various different sizes, whether it be the size of a business card, size of a postcard, anything in between, whatever makes sense, where it's handy, where you can hand it and put it into the workflow process. That's something that can be done immediately, where you could set it up, find out, what directory review sites you need to have your customers leaving reviews for your business at. Your positive customers, your customers that are happy about the work that you're doing, where can you direct them? And if it's a brick and mortar business where you're having customer interaction and you can hand them something and say, here, go here, we'd appreciate it if you tell us how we're doing, or work in some sort of incentive to give them. I would really shy away from anything that's really incentivized, where like you're buying positive reviews. I don't think that's that's kind of a gray area. I would stay.
Yeah,
away,
that's true.
I would stay away from that, but I would definitely at least offer people the opportunity to let us know how we're doing as a business online, because that feeds into your rankings everywhere online. And the quicker you get feedback and ratings from actual people, the better off your business will be. So it's super cheap to get started.
Yeah, it is.
And it's something that immediately can be implemented.
Okay.
So next steps. If there's anything at all, that we can do for you, and I would recommend at least getting a baseline for your girlfriend's business and finding out how is it ranking, for the for the keywords that are relative to your market. Who are your competitors? How are they ranking? How are you showing up? And then just take it from there.